Hello guys, let's start. Now there are basically 3 important steps that you need to follow here. I'll show you how each of the steps is done. Here comes the first step. We just have to open the Google Colab website and then click on New Notebook. Yeah, without further ado, let's open Google Colab. Now we'll click on the blue New Notebook button. Once the notebook loads, now, if you want, you can change the name. But the most important thing to do is to switch the runtime to the Tesla 4 GPU. Because if you use the default CPU, then the generation would take a much longer time. Next, click on the blue button at the bottom to activate Gemini and change the model to Gemini 3 Flash. Let's go to the second step. I would be providing the same prompts in the description, so just copy and paste from there one by one. Try to avoid pasting all the prompts at once. It's generally better if we give Gemini a bit of work each time, just like a real person. Otherwise, it might get confused. There are only 5 prompts, so it should only take around a few minutes. The code should come out looking the same, or at least very similar to what I have got here. For now, we're only exposing the basic control variables like the guidance level, which is called CFG here, and the number of steps, along with the sampler and dimensions. Also, we are using the Dream Shaper 6.31 version, which is a bit old, but it generates pretty good painterly style images, the type which you see in main menus and pictures inside video games. The model which we are pulling from Hugging Face is a pruned model, which means it's a lot smaller and faster, but if you want the bigger model, you can change the file name. But for now, I would suggest to strictly follow the steps unless you know your way around Python coding. All right, we're pretty much done here. I'm just deleting the extra cell. Now, congratulations on reaching the third and final step. It's a very easy one. All you need to do is click on the Run All button, which is there in the top navigation bar. It would take around 5 to 7 minutes to load the model, so I've skipped that part. Now we've clicked on the blue link to open the UI, and this is where the magic happens. Now I will be generating some images. Here you can see one image of a knight which I've already generated. So there are a lot of supporting keywords in the prompt. I would suggest not to remove them, but rather append your defining keywords before these supporting keywords. Because these supporting keywords are used for enhancing the appearance of the image and make it look photorealistic or more painterly. Whatever you like. You can even add keywords like watercolor to get a watercolor style image. I think this looks good, but you can see there are some inaccuracies, like he's holding the blade instead of the handle. Since it's an old pruned model, there are bound to be some inaccuracies. You can replace it with a new model by prompting Gemini to replace the hugging face repository which is being pulled. Overall, you can see how I replace only the primary keywords and keep the supporting keywords the same, which allows me to keep the same style of the image, but with different characters. This might be useful if you are planning to make some kind of text adventure game, although that niche might become saturated now, since generative AI tools have been out for a very long time now. If you want to use the same primary keywords, then you can pause the video. But yeah, I would suggest experimenting with your own keywords. Like you can ask it to generate inanimate objects as well, such as food, furniture, buildings. The list goes not exhaustive. And don't forget to play around with the parameters as well. Here I have set the dimensions to generate a bit longer image, and I have set limits via the prompts, but you can remove their limits in the script if you wish. Also, a high level of CFG or guidance would ensure that it strictly adheres to your prompt, but it would result in less variability and creativity, which might cause the model to generate a subpar image. All right then, that's about it for now. Thank you for following the tutorial till this point, and have fun generating.